Hello everyone, I'm Wafula Nelma, and this is my YouTube channel. Please feel free to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I'll be talking to you today about an AI project, which is the Alzheimer's disease diagnosis classifier model. First, let's start with some background check on the disease. Alzheimer's disease is a condition that causes problems with memory, thinking, and behavior. It's a process that it's a disease that affects the brain gradually, and in the process it normally affects the brain areas that control the circulatory and respiratory systems. And once these two vital organ systems of the body are affected, it can easily lead to fatalities and death. According to the statistics of the disease in the country, it's estimated that approximately 19.36% of Ugandans are affected by the disease. So with this project in place, diagnosis of this condition will be improved, and also detection in all its severities will also be eased. How will AI be solving this? Basing on the machine learning field of artificial intelligence, I will be making a classifier model and train and fit it to analyze MRI scan images and identify the severity of the disease. So with this model in place, the diagnosis of the disease in its various levels of infection will be analyzed, and this will also help in the identification of the disease. So the data I used, I obtained it from the Cargo dataset repository for Alzheimer's. So this dataset comprises of mainly MRI scan images, and these images are classified into 4 categories, which are the mildly demented, very mildly demented, moderately demented, and non-demented. And so here I'll go to the differences between supervised and unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, the system is fed with already labeled data, and this helps the system to identify the patterns within the data, and hence it is able to so the system is able to learn, and it's actually much quicker. Whereas in unsupervised learning, the system is fed or is trained on unlabeled data. It's given unlabeled data, and on its own the system identifies patterns within the patterns existing within the data. And another difference is that in supervised learning, the main purpose is to classify data and make predictions, whereas in unsupervised learning we have to understand the relationships within the data sets. Supervised learning techniques that were used, there is classification and regression. With classification, it deals with discrete values, whereby the values should be defined and should be easy to identify, and they are classified into 2 categories, which is the binary classifiers. These deal with 2 different sets of data, whereas multi-class classifiers, which deal with multiple classes of data. Then in regression, it deals with continuous values and can be categorized as linear and nonlinear types. Unsupervised learning techniques that were used, there is clustering and association. In clustering, there is grouping of objects in such a way that the objects inside the clusters will always have similar properties, and then when they are compared with other clusters, they are very dissimilar, meaning they don't have the same content. Meaning with this technique, we have to group the data, or let's say the objects, into into clusters that make them similar to each other. So then there is also association. Association, here objects are classified and put in a set of categorized compartments. Yes. Some of the challenges that this AI project is faced with is the lack of equipment to deploy the system for practical trials. Then we also face a problem of limited time to make the research we need and interact with the necessary all the concerned stakeholders in the field concerning the disease. And some of the solutions is that the system was trained on an augmented dataset to increase on its accuracy and also improve on its inference engine. On the augmented dataset, some of the images are flipped around, and the the images in the dataset are kind of edited to feed the system with various to feed the system with various forms or formats of the image. And another thing is the reading of to solve the problem on the limited time for research, I decided to read and review some research papers that were made by some experts within the field on the matter, and they seemed useful. So we'll make a comparison on the accuracy, recall, precision, and from F1 score. These are known as the 4 key evaluation metrics for the development of AI. So with precision is a ratio of the system's generated results that correctly predicted positives, or it's the ratio of a system generated results that correctly predicted positive observations to the system's total predicted positive observation, which are the true positives and the false positives. And the recall is also a ratio of the system's generated results that correctly predict positive observations to all observations in the actual malignant class. Then accuracy is also a ratio of correctly predicted classifications to the total test dataset. The F1 score is a weighted average of precision and recall. Yes, that's all. That's what I can say about those. The evaluation matrix I used for the project, there is a confusion matrix. So with this confusion matrix, we'll be able to show the correct and incorrect predictions made by the model, and we compare it with the actual classifications in the test, or what type of errors are being made. So another one is accuracy, which we already defined earlier as a ratio of the correctly predicted classifications to the total data set, and this is the formula that brings about the value for accuracy. And finally, these are some of the references I was able to get my information from. I continue to remind you to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and also share, because all those are helpful in modifying and improving the content that is presented on this channel. Thank you.